about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish.
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Freak passes to Sims. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Guys, some great passing from him.
Yeah, it makes it tough for the defense to chase that ball around when it moves that crisply all over the court.
Yeah, everybody's touching it, and you're starting to see the assists pile up because the rhythm is on display offensively. And Brook Lopez, guys, started the season as the starting center for the Nets last year, but it didn't end up that way.
Lopez ended up coming off the bench for the Nets for a stretch last season. There was a lot of debate, Clark, if that was the right role for him.
Kevin, clearly there were differing opinions because as soon as it happened, every GM called Brooklyn up to see if Lopez was available.
Morris, no good.
And as far as jump shots go, that's what you have to continue to try and get.
I don't know how that one stayed out.
So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And one thing that Phoenix had for them last season was depth. A very good bench, and they provided a good scoring punch when called upon.
2 shots.
Well, Phoenix did have a strong bench, best scoring bench in the NBA in terms, Clark, of points per minute play.
Yeah, and you know, it really helped them, that bench strength, keep the pace of the game up. They were 3rd in the league in fast break points last year.
Move the ball.
Soft touch off the glass. Here's Larkin.
Can't stop this.
Screen by Young. Larkin dishes to Lopez. And now here's Goodwin, the fast break chance. Morris outside. Traps in the tray.
This guy will really make you pay if you leave him enough room outside.
Brooklyn's gotten fewer than half of their 3-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. And the foul called on Freak. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
Well, it seems like this is something we've said quite a bit the last few years, but now we really feel like we're in a golden age for point guards. So many point guards on so many teams are the leaders and best players on their team. You can name a dozen all-star level point guards in the league right now.
From deep, nice shot by Larkin.
It's like they forgot that anybody else is on the floor. They're just going at each other right now.
I know it's a team game, but every now and then, guys detour into the one-on-one action that we've got on our hands right now.
Goodwin kicks to Morris. Shoots from 14. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. To illustrate just how strong the point guard position is right now, Greg, in the NBA, just take a look at the point guards who did not make the All-Star team a season ago. Wow.
You know, in both conferences, it's almost as if we're in the midst of a point guard renaissance for the NBA. I mean, MVP Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, CP3 out west, John Wall, Kyrie Irving in the East. Boy, I could go on and on with the great players at that position. And really, the defense didn't do a lot to fight around that screen on that possession.
Screen by Young. Here's Larkin. Pass to Young. Sims with the rebound.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Morris a screen. Freak passes to Morris. He used that pick to get in close. Morris has got 5 points now in the quarter.
They've been getting it inside at every opportunity and getting results, too.
Yeah, that's a winning formula as far as I'm concerned. They've been the aggressors and far more assertive on the offensive end.
Fires from 14. And it falls over the rim and in. 16 points here for Thaddeus Young.
He can be a matchup nightmare if he can get it in the paint.
Freak with it. Dishes to Goodwin. Feeds it to Freak. Just 5 on the clock. Rejected by Young. They retain possession. And that one's good.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Lopez a screen. To the wing right side. And Karasov kicks to Lopez. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And for Brook Lopez, disappointing start to last season. The season before, he had played only 17 games, so he wanted to make an impact right off the bat. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, you know, he missed the first 2 games altogether with the foot injury and comes back to play pretty well, then hurts his back. Out for 8 more games, comes back again. He's benched in favor of Miles Plumlee. Just a very disjointed year for Lopez.
Goodwin kicks to Freak. Off the left rim and out. Brooklyn's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. Here's Larkin. Pass to Lopez. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
Now here's Freak.
Move the ball. It's sticking too much.
And you know, the new court projection visuals, all the rage in the NBA now. Instead of having to use a screen over the court, they just project video and images straight onto the court. I think before long, you'll see it everywhere.
Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for Phoenix. Here's Larkin. Lopez a screen. Here's Young. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
Boy, Lopez hunkered down and anchored in on that pick.
Phoenix has gone 2 of 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Those court projections you see in the pregame, we don't even have the best angle for them. They're so good.
Yeah, nice perk for those sitting a little higher up on those or those watching TV. It's about putting on a show and at the end of the day, entertaining the fans.
To the middle, here's Young. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, last season, Thaddeus Young was moved from Minnesota to Brooklyn, guys. A good move for everybody involved as he helped with the playoff push.
Young last year, as you mentioned, GA, shipped to Brooklyn, provided good punch off the bench.
And Young is so efficient in his scoring that he's a great guy to play heavy minutes off the bench. Shot over 50% from the floor in his games with the Nets.
The Nets making a switch here. Hollis Jefferson's checked in. Freak kicks to Weems. Sims dishes to Freak. The Suns need to get a shot off. And it's Weems missing. And here are the Nets. A big stretch here going 10-2. Here's Larkin. To the paint. Young's shot is off.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
And that one's good. Freak.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
There's the pick. Larkin kicks to Young. Phoenix grabs the miss.
Move it.
Freak's got his 4th rebound in this one.
And guys, every season there seems to be a player who is at the end of their contract. They'll have talent and they'll be traded to a team looking for an extra piece. It's the ultimate risk-reward move, if you will, in the NBA. Now, that is prototype rebounding right there. He gets the position down low, boxes out, and then corrals it.
Larkin, the pass to Bogdanovich. Thaddeus Young on the wing.
What are you doing?
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Thaddeus Young provides a lot of things, Clark. Solid on both ends of the floor. You can plug him into almost any lineup and make it work.
Yeah, he's an ideal basketball player because of his versatility. I think that's one of his greatest strengths. Not only can he play the 3 or 4, he can go inside and outside too.
And guys, when you talk about Thaddeus Young, last year was another solid season for him. Excellent job finishing around the rim as usual. Solid rebounding numbers, but still trying to improve his consistency from the three. He started the season strong in that department and kind of fell off a bit at the end. From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Well, when you knock down jumpers like that, it opens everything else up as well.
Sims, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Man, Thaddeus Young, he's really entering the prime of his career right now at age 27. Hard to believe he's now in his 9th season. Only spent 1 year in college. Still plenty of room to grow. You know, the Nets really kind of drifted along for the first part of last season, treaded water, but after the All-Star break, they stepped on the gas, put themselves right back in the playoff picture.
Lopez a screen. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. He kicks it to Larkin. The 3. And again, Brooklyn with the triple. As you mentioned, the Nets were great after the break. Had the 3rd best record post-All-Star break in the East.
Yeah, and how about winning 13 of their first 22 after the break? And sometimes with a new coach and system, it takes a while to kind of figure things out. And that seemed to be the case with the Nets last year.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Nets.
You know, I thought maybe they'd cool off a bit at halftime, but they've continued to bury the jump shots.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they've forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
He dishes it to Young.
2 minutes.
And there's the feed to Bogdanovich. Here's Lopez. And it's Freak with the rebound. Freak's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Kicks it to Weems. And here's Freak. There's the screen. Down low. The shot's good from Sims.
He's having quite the quarter here, guys. I mean, shooting the ball extremely well.
Screen by Young.
You know, another point of contention between every NBA fan is whether or not the age restriction is a good thing. Some want it increased, others want it gone altogether. You know, for me, it's a matter of whether or not you as a team feel that that player can make an impact on your roster.
Both free throws good from Thaddeus Young. Phoenix looked to be on the verge of making it back into the playoffs last season. Ultimately, though, Greg, they faltered in the second half of the year.
Yeah, it was a 3-team race. And after coming up short in 14, the Suns had the edge early. As you said, Kevin, they simply couldn't keep things going in the second half of the season.
Releases. And it's Freak missing.
Well, he's building a house with those bricks. I mean, one reason is he keeps trying to force it up when he's defended well. Move the ball, share the sugar.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Nets.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, Clark, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Well, it's more than luck, Kevin. I think the shot selection was good, too.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year. Actually, their 5th win on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And if you had to pick one player, guys, who would take over, few would have picked his name. But tonight was the night for Thaddeus Young. Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Sims dishes to Freak. And no good, trying to use the glass. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team, Clark, by far tonight.
No question about it, Kevin. They certainly gave their fans plenty to scream and holler about. This place was rocking. It was on fire. And it only got louder as that lead got bigger.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?